Good evening, sir.
Please confirm about the live.
How are you?
Fine, sir. Fine, thank you.
Yes, it is okay. It is coming. Sudipto.
Okay. Principal sir has also joined.
So before we start, just let us confirm. So Ramada, you are back.
Yes, I'm back.
স্যার আমি স্টার্ট করে দেবো
Ramada
Sudeep,
is
you
back.
start.
Indralda, you are there?
Yes, I am here.
Yeah, I'll need access to share my screen. I have 2 slides to start with.
Okay. So Sudipto, Ramada will be sharing some of the slides. So if you can give him access to share his screen.
Sure, sir. Just let me initiate the program and I will give the
Ramada,
sharing
your
permission.
voice is breaking a bit, so I'm not sure your internet connection is.
Principal sir.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. Sir, may I start the program?
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm joining late because we had another meeting. It was continuing meeting.
No issue, sir. Thank you very much for giving me the permission to join. Ladies and gentlemen, wish you all a very good evening. Your host for this evening, this side, Sudipto Sahana, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Student Branch Counselor, CSI Student Chapter, JIS College of Engineering, West Bengal, and convener of this event. I pleasantly welcome you all in this national webinar on industry needs from academia, organized by CSI Student Chapter, JIS College of Engineering, in association with Computer Society of India, Kolkata Chapter. We have received more than 1,000 number of registered participants from across the nation. We have with us Ramaprasad Ghosh, Director, Technology Consulting, PwC, Dr. Indranil Mitra, Academic Advisory Board Member, JG University, and Moinak Sen, Associate Director, Technology Consulting, PwC, as a resource person for this webinar. We have with us Dr. Aniruddha Nag, Chairman, CSI Kolkata Chapter, Professor Dr. J.K. Mandal, former Chairman, CSI Kolkata Chapter, and Professor, University of Kollani, and other respected dignitaries from Computer Society of India. I invite Professor Dr. Partha Sarkar, Principal, JIS College of Engineering, Dr. Malaya Dave, Director, JIS College of Engineering, Dr. Sila Singh Ghosh, Registrar, JIS College of Engineering, and all the deans and head of the department, faculty members, and staff members from JIS College of Engineering. Commencing with the program, I am requesting Professor Dr. Partha Sarkar, Principal, JIS College of Engineering, to deliver the welcome address on behalf of our institute. Please, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sudipto. Very good evening to all present in this platform. This is really a proud moment for us that CSI Student Chapter of our college, in association with CSI Kolkata Chapter, organizing today a national webinar on industry needs from academia. Let me welcome all the participants, all the listeners, all the speakers, those who have spared their valuable time for us. I wholeheartedly welcome each and everybody for this webinar. Dear sir, the speakers, they all are from industry side. They all are experienced personnel from the industry. The thing is that in academics, when we teach our students or when our curriculum has been prepared for different subjects, many times we miss a link, that is what actually industry wants and what actually we are delivering. Honestly speaking, due to autonomous status of few colleges like our college, we are nowadays trying to minimize this gap. I am not telling that we are completely uh, taking the complete help of the industry, but we are trying to minimize the thing in the curriculum so that the students will be getting benefited. And with this kind of intention only, or with this kind of thought process only, this webinar has been arranged, where we want to listen from the industry people what academician or academics should do for the industry, or what industry is looking from the academic side or from the student, those who are graduating. So this is a very, I'll say, this is the complete need of the hour for this society, for this education system. This is actually the need of the hour. So I thank Computer Society of India, Kolkata chapter, that they have chosen a very good topic for this evening, and the students, the teacher, the academicians, the industry people, those who are here in this platform definitely will get benefited by the inputs which will be provided by the industry people. I wish all the success for the webinar, and again I thank all the speakers, those who have spared their valuable time for us for this webinar. Thank you all. I wish all the success of the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for your highly motivating words. Next, may I request Dr. Aniruddha Nag, Chairman, Computer Society of India, Kolkata Chapter, to address our audience across the country. Please, sir.
Good evening, everybody, dear professors, colleagues, faculties, and so many students. As the chairman of CSI Kolkata Chapter, am I audible, Shana?
Yes, sir.
I take great pride in welcoming all the attendees of this fantastic webinar. It is my great pleasure to welcome so many people at this inauguration ceremony for the CSI, and I would like to thank you all on behalf of CSI Kolkata Chapter. Computer Society of India, probably you know or you may not know, is the first and the largest body of computer professionals in India. It was started on 6th March 1965 by few computer professionals and has now grown to be the national body representing more than 1 lakh computer professionals. It is indeed a very good webinar and on-time webinar, because what industry expects from academia and what is the gap between industry and academia is the prime concern and the need of the hour to address this problem. It is possible to mentally resolve the issue for oneself rather well by the following argument. Academia industry relationship is increasing and augurs well for the future growth of research and welfare, that I believe. And I must say that JIS College of Engineering is a very well-known and reputed college of engineering, and they have started this webinar long back, just when the pandemic started. Probably in the month of April, we worked together to start a webinar as well as competition. In here, I would like to tell you that with the help of JIS group, CSI is going to organize one beautiful program, that is hackathon, in the month of January 2021. It is a platform, and you can consider it that it is the first step towards Smart India Hackathon. So before going to Smart India Hackathon or before participating Smart India Hackathon, you can participate in our hackathon, that is called SRIIH 2021 Hackathon. JIS Group and CSI Kolkata Chapter jointly organizing that beautiful hackathon program. I would like to conclude by expressing my hope that this student chapter will serve as a hub point for JIS Group, and group's endeavors to promote the further development of collaboration among industry, government, and academia. I congratulate you for your commitment and active participation and wish you all the success. Thank you for your attention. Over to Sudipta Shahana.
Thank you very much, sir, for your enthusiastic words. Moving forward, I would like to request Professor Dr. J.K. Mandal, Professor, University of Kollani, as well as advisor of this program, to say a few words. Please, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Honorable Principal, Honorable Chairman, Computer Society of India, other dignitaries, experts from the industry, all participants across the pan-India. So it is my proud privilege to associate with this program, particularly when JIS College of Engineering and CSI organizing such program. I always happy to be associated with these activities, because we think of a lot of things in terms of our forwarding ourselves or our students and our academics, but very less of us actively perform the task and reach the milestone. Sudipta is one of such candidate for our society and the institute both. So I would like to congratulate him for his untiring effort since, I think, February, March, what the chairman of the Computer Society of India Kolkata Chapter has rightly pointed out, that his untiring effort is assimilating the industry people, students of various regions to this eastern part of the country with academics and all other peoples. So thank you for your initiatives. And regarding these initiatives of this industry people's assimilation with academia, that is the need of this hour. And now due to this new normal situation, now these are emerging as an urgent need for this society and the community of our teaching scenario. That is very, very important. What are the changes to be incorporated in the industry? What are the changes then to be incorporated to our academics? What will be the collaborative nature? How we can be associated or at par with the industry needs? How we can manipulate or we can associate our students, activate our students, stakeholder in that directions, so we can get the directions from the industry people. So today is the day of listening from the industry peoples what they are thinking about the state of the art with new normal situations coming out in next 1 or 2 years. What will be the direction of our leadership for academia, academics and industry, how industry people thinking and what we have to do. This is a very good opportunity to share their views and get the ideas from them. So I thanks JIS College of Engineering for organizing such webinar. I welcome you all and I'm happy to be associated with this seminar. Thank you very much. Over to Sudipta.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Sudipta, just a minute, just a minute.
Yes, sir. Yes.
মন্ডল স্যার নমস্কার। আমি
নমস্কার,
জানি না আপনি
নমস্কার।
প্ল্যাটফর্মে আছেন।
আছি আছি না আমার ক্যামেরাটা অফ হয়ে গেছে
না না আমারও ক্যামেরা অফ আছে। আমি আই এম রিয়েলি থ্যাঙ্কফুল স্যার, আপনি সবসময় ইউ আর অলওয়েজ উইথ আস, ইউ অলওয়েজ এনকারেজ আস and whenever JIS needs anything you are there with us sir. Thank you sir, thank you
it's
again.
My pleasure and regards to you and all of you.
Sir, thank you. Okay, Sudipta, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to request Dr. Dharampal Singh, HOD Department of Computer Science and Engineering, JIS College of Engineering, to address the gathering. Please, sir.
Thank you, Sudipto. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to the principal, sir. Good evening to the expert present here. And good evening to the JKM, sir, our own JKM, sir. We can say that whatever the program we have organized, sir, always given the view to us and also way how we can organize the program. So today topic is the industry need from the academia, and we know that our 2021 batch recently 1 month back they have attended one placement drive there. So we know that this is a very vital for them, those who are fourth year students. So they will know that what are the requirement of the industry from the student side, and they will prepare themselves according to the view of the today's seminar there. So I think that because already JKM sir, principal sir, Aniruddha sir has given their view, and I think that our participant across the India, they are eagerly waiting for the view of the expert. So I will not take the much time here, because as you know that in any webinar, any seminar and any workshop, we know that main attraction is the expert there. So I thanks to all the experts present here, because we know that the personally I would like to thank the Ramo Prasad Ghosh sir, Moinak Sen and Dr. Indrani Mitra, because they have given their valuable time. And we know that after this, tomorrow is the Sashti will be there. So this is also the occasion of the Durga Puja. We are enthralled and fascinated by the today. And today is also the last day for our college working. So it is a great feeling that students are getting many things before the Durga Puja. And we know that good thing always present in our mind, and it motivates us to do the very good thing in the future that. So so I am ending here, because as you know that the any attraction of the program is the knowledge and the view of the speaker. So but I will mention one thing, because whenever we have asked for any permission for the program, and thanks to the principal sir, has given ideas, has given way how we can go for the program that. So thanks to the principal sir by supporting to the CSE department in every program, in everything we have asked, has given to us. And also I will like to just mention one word for the Sudipto Sahana, because whenever we know that we across the West Bengal we have many CSI student chapter, but whatever I personally seen that the Sudipto have organized the, I can say, maximum program from the CSI student chapter. So that thanks to the Sudipto sir, and also the our Aniruddha sir, because to approach to the sir always given permission to him to start it and do the program based on the motivational thought of the JKM sir. So Sudipto, I am ending here and over to you, because as you know that the every program is participant always say that we are eager to listen the view of the speaker, not all the person. So thank you to all the person present here. So I'm just over to you, Sudipto.
Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving towards our keynote session. The session has been planned to be an interactive one. I am requesting to all the participants, please write your query in the YouTube chat window so that we can take it. Before commencing the session, let me introduce the keynote speakers of today's session. First, Ramaprasad Ghosh, Director, Technology Consulting, PwC. With over 20 years of industry experience, Mr. Ghosh managed the EduTech competency of PwC India. He has worked with many education institutes and other sectors to improve operational efficiency, enable technology transformation, IT solution implementation, student skill enhancement, and resolve challenges using innovation. Working on Education 4.0 to bridge the gap between industry and academia. Next, Dr. Indranil Mitra, Academic Advisory Board Member, JJ University. He is a digital and data science professional with over 27 years of experience in technology like AI, distributed ledgers, extended reality and quantum computing, machine learning, blockchain, augmented reality, and Internet of Things. Finally, Moinak Sen, he is Associate Director, Technology Consulting, PwC India. With over 15 years of industry experience, Mr. Sen is a part of EduTech competency for PwC India. He has extensive experience in the education sector and technology transformation. Now, without further delay, I am handing over the session to our experts. Over to you, Mr. Ghosh, Mr. Sen, and Dr. Mitra.
Thank you, Ramada. Mr. Ramaprasad Ghosh, start.
Yep, I can start. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, it is visible.
So to thank upon Honorable Principal, JIS Engineering College, Chairman of CSI Kolkata, Mr. Sudipto, and the management of JIS for giving us this opportunity, students. And it is, I'll say that it is our privilege and we are happy to have this kind of session and interact with the students. We would like to also hear from the students' questions, their view throughout this process. And that is also helps us to get to know that what's going on in today's day. So thank you again. Now for the audience, I believe all the students who are listening to this, I would like to say to you the congratulations. Now, why I am saying this congratulations to you? You are already doing the higher education. So if you look at the enrollment in Indian, only 35 to 36% are students are enrolled in the higher education. So that means by this time or by enrolling to the higher education institute like JIS Engineering College, you have already leapfrogged those 60-65% of your batchmates from different schools or different colleges. They are not privileged to enroll themselves, or they are not getting opportunity to pursue the higher education, whereas you are getting this opportunity. And that is a big thing in India, that as different academicians are working, different policymakers are working to enable the higher education enrollment more, and you are already part of that. And once you are in the higher education, you are part of, and it is ensured that once you are in the higher education, you are going to part of India's thought leadership labor market. There, if you say that in India, the different kind of markets for labor market or the work market, if you look at, there are laborers who works physically, and there are laborers who apply their intellectual thoughts. So when you have already enrolled into the higher education, you became the part of that intellect group who will help our country, our nation to progress through your intellectual power. So congratulations again to you. You should feel proud. And now the thing is, once you got this opportunity, you are feeling the proud, make yourself, transform yourself so that you can be prouder. You can capitalize on this opportunity, what you have got when you have enrolled into the higher education. So far so good. You have done good, but the challenges are ahead. There are many challenges. When you go out of the college, the actual challenges starts. But the college is the time where you prepare yourself for those challenges. So what are the challenge when I say that when you graduate, when you go to the industry, putting you as a candidate for different kind of openings. So what are the challenges in front of you? I'm sure you might have seen this kind of data, but just to refresh our mind that what kind of challenges are lying ahead. As of today, if we look at, I have some data point on the left hand side, which is the enrollment in the higher education, that how many students are enrolling in the higher education, right? So if you look at, we are in 2020, so somewhere between 19 and 22, around let's say 38 to 39 million students are enrolled in the higher education, right? So either in the undergraduate or in the postgraduate or maybe some kind of career coaching they are taking. So this is the some kind of distribution. So we are talking roughly about 38 to 39 million of students in India. Now what these students after graduating, what they will be doing? If you look at what is waiting for you, the students will be every year who will be passing out, what is waiting for you? The white collar job, right? There are in the job market we say that blue collar job, which is white collar job. Where white collar jobs are the job where you will be expecting a managerial position through your career in different kind of organization or different kind of industries. But if you look at what as of 2020, what kind of white collar jobs are there in the market? Roughly around 18 million, right? So there is a growth. In 2022, we are expecting it will grow by 21.5 million. So from if you compare the left and the right, you will see that roughly around double. There is a gap of double of the white collar job offering and the number of student in the number of students in the higher education, it is double. So this is one of the challenge or interesting fact I would like to highlight you. But this picture gives another kind of facts. If you look at the right one, most of us see that IT, ITS or BPO as the dream job, right? But it may not be. Roughly around only 20% white collar jobs are there in the IT, ITS or BPO. Rest around 60% in the other industries. What are these other industries? If I exclude this manufacturing and BFSI, I'm sure you know all this term, BFSI, banking, finance, insurance, these things, I believe you know. Manufacturing, I guess you should be able to understand what it is. But what is other industries? Other industries are chemical, other industries called logistics, retail, aerospace. There are different kind of other industries exist in our India. So that also gives lot of openings in the white collar jobs. So one is shortfall of job. Here you should look at, and the other piece is it is not only the IT, ITES. It's a different other industries what you should be thinking about. Many of these colleges today's date, or many of us in the student life, thought that coding, learning Java, C Sharp, or any other programming language will help my candidature for a job in going forward. But this picture says differently. So how should you groom yourself? Yes, knowing the code, knowing the technology, yes, it will help you to achieve some kind of jobs. But having a idea of how other industries work, you leveraging your education to see, to explore the different other options that will also enable your different kind of options for your career. Now look at, so once you, so this is clear, right? So there is a challenge, but there is also opportunity. The opportunity you have to grab. You have to take your career ownership. So don't get focused only on one direction. There are many other directions are open. Many other platforms are there. So we need to explore. You need to explore all those things. So after graduation, what are the things you can do? This slide might look a little funny, but once I explain, probably it might make sense. So there are three things in my mind that there are three options, right? You can go for a job, right? And job, we have seen that it is limited. Uh, it will be limited unless job is being created, right? And that is it is well known fact that there is a lot of gap between the curriculum which is taught at the institutes and the industry needs. There is a lot of gap, and we see that different reports that how many students are employable in percentage. Some report says 50%, some report says only 20%. They are employable in the industry. So that is a challenge, and that is the opportunity for you. Why I am not employable, right? Why I am not employable? What the industry is looking for? So it is clear that the whatever curriculum is offered is not suitable, at least not suitable in that 50% scenario to prepare you for the industry. That is also another shortcoming is there is not enough experiential learning in the institutes or in the curriculum you follow. It's not may not be fault of the institute. It could be that is how the curriculum is being designed. The curriculum may not be has been looked into for a long time. Recent NAP, I believe you all know that recent education policy, national education policy, is trying to address that, but implementing that will take probably another 5-10 years. We don't know. By that time, you will already be graduated. So what is the other options? You can do further higher study. You can do PhD, you can do MTech, you can go for postdoctoral research, but that need a lot of motivation. Are you prepared for yourself? Yes, the research is good. Higher studies is always good. That creates more opportunity for you. You become the other than a normal job, you also, after doing the higher education, you become also another career of teaching you can adopt, right? You can be a scientist, you can be another researcher in different. So new job arenas will open up if you do the research, if you do the higher education. But as I said, motivation is you need a lot of motivations. Options are limited again, and hardly the quality, the satisfaction after doing the higher education and doing the research may not be good enough for you to satisfying your thirst. What other option? Other option is entrepreneurship, right? You can be an entrepreneur yourself. You can open, you might have your idea. You can have you can do innovation. You can form a group of students who has a similar kind of mindset, come together, seed a idea, try for it. It is a vital time. If you do that 4 years of engineering, 2 years you can spend, 2 years, 3 years you can spend on an idea what you want to incubate. And sure, your faculty members or different alumni members or the mentors will be glad to help you. But this is also a entrepreneurship in today's date. The economy has opened up, right? In India, different government is taking different measures to improve the ease of doing business, for easing out different kind of laws for the startups, setting up the company or dilution of those companies. So lot of things are happening, lot of investments are coming, and in the investment arenas, there are different kind of investors, seed investor, angel investors, then expansion investor, different type of investors are there, right? So innovation, yes, there is a challenge of fund. How we will get the initial fund unless there is something tangible to show. You should know that different kind of lingos of, I'm sure, of the startup culture, the minimum viable product. I'm sure you know all this, what is minimal viable product concept, what is pivoting, how to pivot to generate the fund, how to create your pitch to take to the investors about to get a fund. And obviously, the main enemy of this entrepreneurship or startup culture is the self, right? How long you can struggle, what kind of motivation level you have. This is the most thrilling, eh, most risky area also. But once you can give your 100%, you have the motivation, you have the mindset to struggle, you will succeed. In one day, you'll succeed. People, even with the failed startup, are welcomed by another startup because that's the experience you have, right? There are different kind of posts in the LinkedIn. You say that recently I was looking at one of the posts that one person, he said that I got a initial job of 3,000 rupees a month, and then I switched over this job. It became my salary to 6,000 rupees, and I got a promotion. It became a 9,000 rupees job. I switched over the job and I went to another company and I got a 15,000 rupees salary a month over the last. So this is the improvement probably over the 6 months of 6 years or 5 years he's talking about. But when he has done that startup, when the startup ideas came, when few student came, few friends came together, seeded an idea and tried for it.
Ramaprasad sir, excuse me.
Yes.
Sir, will you please close the notification? Close. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yep. So when they have tried over that, there is a posting that in the first year I have earned only 60,000. In the second year I have earned 6 lakhs per month. Yes, it was risky. They have taken the risk. They have gained from it. So that's the possibility of entrepreneurship, and it creates the job in the market, right? So job is more secure. Higher education is probably going for another level, is a more secure thing. But entrepreneurship, yes, it is a risky, and high. Wherever there is a high risk, wherever there is a high struggle, the return could be much more than that, right? Now, probably you will be wondering that what is this red and blue? This looks like a flag, kind of a club flag or a national flag. But this is not it is. There is a concept called red ocean. There is a concept called blue ocean. I try to frame this because some of the questions I have got from Sudipto that whether a startup is good, whether there will be competition in the market. Yes, there will be competition in the market. There will be competition as long as your idea is similar. If your idea is similar, there will be competition. But if your idea is hatke, that is something new you have thought about, which is not there in the market, you will have little competition. So the idea you want to try, the market you want to try, where there is a lot of competition, that's my competition, we call it is a red ocean. You something tried and tested idea, you might try again. So but still you are because it is the tried and tested idea, you are swimming in the red ocean. You will get some return, right? You will get some return, but it will be competitive. You have to be competitive. You have to play on the probably on the price. There are already players, so you have to reduce your price. You have to go another extra mile to offer your service or product. Then only you will get some customer segment. So that is your red ocean. A lot of competition, a lot of ideas. Same ideas as being used by many people. Consider our e-commerce market, right? Same e-commerce, if you want to do, so many e-commerce platform came in and they either they has been taken over or they has been merged into or they are switched off their business, right? But there is something called blue ocean. You create your own segment of customer, right? Your service offering or your idea is such that you are creating your own market and you become the lead player over there. Soon you'll see that many other players is being copying your idea, but you are the leader. So you first create that market. You You have some idea which is create a market for you. So that is a blue ocean. But yes, the competition will come up over there, but you become the leader. You if you continue innovating, if you continue addressing your customer need, if you uh, bring efficiency, you will continue to be leader. So that is in the entrepreneurship. These are the things you need to keep into mind, that what idea, where I'll put my struggle, where I'll put my effort. Is the same thing or something new I'll try to do in the market. Something may be there in the other market, in the any other country. If you look at, when that Airtel came in India, right? The the telephone mobility market was there already. So Mr. Mittal traveled to Singapore or some of the developed countries, and he saw that this is opportunity which is could be opportunity if it is implemented in India, right? So he created his ocean in India. It has no competition at that time about the mobile service offering Airtel, whatever we see. So it could be something which is there existing in other world, and India is probably becoming suitable for the same. You can try out that idea also. So that also works. So we have seen that different options. You have to choose that what I am to do. Jobs, yes. What type of job? What I am to do. So you groom yourself from now onwards. Yes, this type of job I am to do. So this is my focus. Not only this industry, I would like to explore other industries, as I've shown in the earlier slide. I am to do research, but in which area I should do research or do the higher studies, right? It's not probably something which is done. So recently, one of the education house university, we have spoken about. They are asking that help us to frame a research framework in our university. And so we explored. Initial thought is like that. We have seen our faculty members who are teaching in engineering are not interested to do the research, but they want to take the class. But in the trend area, our faculty members are more want to do more want to publish more papers and to do research, but they don't want to take much of class. Why this different? There is the inherent need. The engineering field, traditional engineering field, if you see that civil, electrical, mechanical, this has been matured. The technology has been matured such that there is anything left to discover or innovate. You have to go to that level to innovate over there. But the new areas wherever it's coming, whether it is a uh, any digital related, so there it is budding. So you can contribute also over there. So you have to choose wisely that what you want to research for. And I have spoken already in detail about the entrepreneurship mindset, what you need to have for the entrepreneurship. Now, there are two other things I would like to highlight. What is STEAM? Probably you have heard the word STEM, right? Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, which was the traditional way of Indian education system grown up. We have focused on the central government has taken a lot of focus to set up the engineering colleges, technology colleges, IITs, NITs, many more, right? But the recent NAP, National Education Policy, is saying that it's not only the STEM, you need arts also, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So that should be the curriculum so that students' creativity can be groomed accordingly. Students' problem solving mindset can be created accordingly. You need to know other things, other emotional feelings. Today, if I give a problem statement, let's say that uh, let's say that you are designing a automated self-driving car, right? And there are cars. So in that scenario, there are, let's say, consider all cars are automated driving in the road. All are connected to the servers, right? Artificial intelligence is driving all the cars. And you bought a such car, and you are there, you're riding on that car. Now suddenly the car which is going in front of you has a breakdown. So it goes the message to the server, it comes back to your car, and that your car knows that the in front car has got a breakdown, it will stop sharply, so you have to brake it sharp. Now the situation is, if I don't brake sharp, I am going to hit the front car, that will damage or that will create the life in danger of the front car. But if I do a brake sharply, it will hurt the owner of the car. You are riding on that car, right? So what should be done? The car should continue as it is and do a hit in the front car, or it will stop so that the owner of the car is in danger. Now consider that you are going to buy a car from the showroom knowing this feature. So which feature? So there are two cars available. One car is saying that whatever may be the scenario, it will give the priority to the owner of the car to keep his life safe. Another feature is saying that it will not hurt the environment or any other person. It could be in front another par, another elderly, another kid. So it should not hurt the surroundings. So which one I'll buy or you will buy from the showroom, right? Now, so probably we'll think that we'll buy on which I'll be safe. Now consider about the engineer who will design this, right? What kind of thought process will go in the artificial intelligence algorithm or the car manufacturer algorithm to put in? Who will solve that problem, a engineer or a philosopher? Who has the more emotional thought, more have seen a lot of things in the life rather than just machine, right? So try to focus on other disciplines of learning. It's not only if you are trying to just learn the engineering thing, don't just say that IQ is the only thing. There are a lot of things what is required in the industry. Probably you have seen that IQ is the one of the things earlier you used to talk about. We talk now about the emotional quotient, EQ. We talk about the resilient quotient, right? There are many other quotients are there in a person. What should be there? So that is what today at industry is looking for. It will lot of things will be automated. Lot of things will be taken care by the machines. But in the industry, that soft feeling you will be missed. So that decision making, the creativity will be missed. So those are the things will be in high demand. So give your focus on that, different kind of other type of learning also, not only the core department or discipline you are learning, right? So that summarizes my next one. You see, I said it is all the things, new innovations, new demand will be in the cross discipline area, not on your particular discipline. How? So there are two person, one mechanical engineer, one computer science engineer is working for a project. Who is going to bridge their gap, right? So you should, the person who knows both should be able to bridge the gap. So you need to have this cross-discipline learning. And in today's world, all the innovations, all the research are going on, all the startups are going on in the cross-discipline area, not on a particular discipline. So open up your mind, try to look at other things to solve the India's problem, solve a social problem, not on particular department. A computer science, electronics, or a civil engineering can solve it. It has to be a mixed approach. The cross-discipline problem solving will be in the high demand. So with this, I would like to stop Here, I'd like to ask maybe the questions we can take later. I would ask Dr. Indranil. So Indranil, taking my name, he is very respected. We call him Dada. So I'd request Indranil to say to address the students.
Thank you, Ramana. Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody, and many thanks to JIS and CSI for inviting me over. It is very topical and very important webinar that you have arranged. But I had jotted down a lot of points. I think most of them are covered by Ramada's wonderful address. Uh, so my introduction as given by Dr. Sudipto was very interesting. Even I didn't know about that. But I want to focus on something else. I started my career by working for Microsoft Labs way back in the 1990s. And then I jumped upon a bandwagon of making a startup firm, which was later acquired. And from this side of the table, then I migrated to the other side, being an employee, from a employment generator to an employee. That was an interesting journey. Worked for some of the biggest firms in the world. PwC is one of them, where I led some of the most emerging technology which we speak. Everybody now speaks about those things. And then I have now moving on to some of the universities which are coming up in India and abroad, where I'm advising them what we should do about the new curriculums which are emerging because of the needs of the industry, the needs of the society, the needs of people which are changing. So the host is asking me to start my video. I'm very bad to look at, but I will still do that for some moments. All the things that Ramada covered in his address, and also some of the esteemed guests were mentioning in their speeches, I think the industry is looking for, the trend has changed. It's going through a paradigm shift. There were times when if you got an admission into a government engineering college or an IIT, I think you're the star of your para or the place where you came from. You're respected, and then you cross that 4-year journey, and then either you went to US or you remained here, did some research, and you became a professor teaching the next set, or you went to the industry, or you started to do something on your own, which was very rare at those days. Then came the opening up of the education sector. I should call it the liberalization of the education sector. Forward thinkers like JIS College, let's just look at Kolkata or the West Bengal region itself, where they wanted to improve the student uptake and also impart the education of the so-called esteemed services like an engineering stream or a medical stream and stuff like that by private colleges. A lot of students got an opportunity to make some interesting path they created for students who are not maybe eligible for the top tier colleges. Maybe they did not get the chance at that moment. Maybe that day they gave the exam was not good enough. A lot of things happen. But these colleges, specifically when we are here and JIS is hosting this, I have followed this college for a very long time. And they started small, and now they have put their footprints across Bengal and other regions too, and very interesting subjects they have started to teach. And this collaboration, so I'm not saying about JS because I'm on JS's platform, but whenever I was working, addressing an ASCOM session, or maybe the global technology session that happens in December and January in Kolkata, I always saw that JIS was a part of either the sponsors or the knowledge partner or whatever it was. So that's very forward thinking. industry, until unless it knows what kind of students or what kind of labor force is getting created to the vast evolving uh, nature of jobs which are coming up, if it is not inclusive, then I don't think our people will be ready, both from the industry side and from the academic side, to bridge that gap. I think Ramada was saying, who's going to bridge that gap? I think the gap will have three participants. One is the industry itself, one is the academic institution or the organization which is imparting the knowledge, and last but not the least, the most important part is the student himself or herself. So you learn, which that means you intake, and then you give the output. That is what the industry wants. So whatever you learn is given as an output, which through a project, through a research program, through an educational seminar, whatever you impart, what you've learned from your colleges and the experiences that you gather is what the students will bridge. The students of today are the professionals of tomorrow, and they are the torch bearers of the nation. So what happened during this pandemic time? There are a lot of despair when there was lockdown declared all across India. People could reach their homes. People got stuck at different places which are far away from their homes. The COVID virus swept across the land, not only in India, across the globe. There were economic losses, job losses, schools were shut, colleges were shut. It was doomsday. But then, do you see the change that is started to happen? Each lockdown was followed by an opening up, right? And what was the first thing that opened up? Was the delivery services, right? Delivery services. The medical services were anyway open. The health services were open. The government was anyway open. But the private sector started opening up. Your food that you wanted always to eat from outside or from somewhere else was getting delivered. That was technology driven, right? The books that you wanted to buy, the colleges suddenly turned very savvy in teaching from homes, the professors from their home, students to their home. What bridged the gap? So there were these large companies like the platform that you're using today, Zoom. I can bet 8 to 9 months back, very few people would have known about Zoom. Very few people would have used a Zoom or a Google Meet. What is it? Fast forward 9 months or 8 months, everybody swears by them. Although for me personally, if we are spending much more time sitting in front of a screen than used to do earlier, maybe productivity has gone up, but it also takes toll on your mental health. That's a separate topic. So who's making all this possible? It is the students who had graduated maybe a few years back or earlier. They were a part of the revolution, which was the internet revolution, which changed how the world looks at education, looks at a country, looks at the population of that country. So in India was always the service hub of the world. Slowly it has started to emerge as the unicorn producing hub of the world. From Silicon Valley, we have moved to the India Valley, right? We just during the lockdown, there were 3 unicorns which emerged. People who have studied at some great colleges, people who have not studied at great colleges, there all these fintech players, all these service delivery e-commerce platforms, Ramada was saying, they all emerged and changed how India is being looked at. India was one of the fastest players to move into the vaccine making process. Was it possible just because India was ready or India knew about the subject? No, they moved very nimbly. They had great employees who were taught in great institutions who moved so fast that they contained a lot of fallouts which could have happened. So I take a lot of cognizance what Ramada was saying. It is not only the engineering side. Did a lot of engineers were successful during this time? Or it was the service delivery boy or the back office room people or the just the MBBS RMOs who were at the front line of the COVID war, who was successful? So I could say a few names, or I could say collectively, the young people were very successful in creating a new genre of India. So when TikTok closed, all the neighboring countries, the apps are banned by the government. Did people? There was a what should I say? There was a lot of discussion going on that some people will lose their life earnings, they lose revenues. But then suddenly, 7 days into that, there are a lot of Indian companies which came up with similar products which were already there, but they were not being used because the neighboring countries were pushing the products for many years now, and people are very comfortable doing that. Maybe our design was not that great. Maybe our uptake of that technology was not that great, but suddenly things changed. We still could scan documents, we could still do a variant of a TikTok. How did that happen? Most of that was done by younger people who were just waiting to get that opportunity. So when we speak about industry, it is not about just getting a job, it is creating an impact with what you have learned, and how do you extrapolate that learning into a greater good, if I could say. It could be the good for yourself because you progress and you take your family with that. That is the core. And then you impact by your learning a lot of people. So if the effect of COVID is measured by the R factor, the number of people who get infected by that virus through a single person, I think the students of today, what they learn, and as industries keep coming together with the academics for creating specific programs and people get enrolled to that, and the workforce changes its color to become more relevant, I think the change can be seen. uh, India has the highest uh, students, professionals signing up for courses which are rendered by Coursera in the areas of digital technologies, or Udemy, or MIT edX, or even our own online medium for teaching. The highest number of people are from India. The highest students are from India. So in conjunction with the institutions like JIS, in conjunction like people from industry, I could say I'm from the industry, but I'm from the services part of the industry, and people who consume that talent, some of the bigger names, if I could say it in open forum, people like Tata Steel, or a Reliance Industries, or a Airtel, or a pharmaceutical company like Abbott. So there are multiple layers, and also the training just need not be in your own faculty. It should be a 360-degree development for you. It is not only you, but also your environment and your college and your institution who should be very cognizant about the fact that when a person or a student graduates out of the portals of the university or the college, they are my brand ambassadors. Plus, we have also prepared them for the next 30-35 years of working life that generally on an average a person has, and he will be ready to scale. He should be ready to face not only technical challenges, but for social challenges which come with working in a multicultural environment. So what, just to summarize that, I think we should, the students of today should have an open mind. They should be focused in building some 1 or 2 skills which are the requirements for the next 5 to 10 years. Digital is one of them. uh, Presentation skills is another thing we miss out because we have to speak to a lot of people. Our we cannot be data scientists by not knowing statistics or mathematics very well. Just doing that, that's a caution that I want to give to future people here, future leaders, that if you want to become a data scientist, if I'll focus on what I do, you need to understand what statistics is, you need to understand in which business you're applying that, you need to understand what mathematics is, you need to understand what philosophy is, as Ramada was saying. Is the car AI driven car, if it, as he said, should it hit the elder person or the younger person, or should it hit itself outside the road? So you have to have a global world view of your education, just not a CSE or a EE or an architecture, just not that, but you should be well versed in the literature part of it, the philosophy part of it, the social part of it. Then only you will progress very well in the industry. Then only you'll be accepted well as a leader. Then only you can disseminate the same type of education to more your followers. So that is what your R effect would be, not in the terms of virus, but in the positive terms. With that, I think I'll hand it over to Moinak, and I welcome questions more, because if we keep speaking, we'll just speak about our times and our things that we are doing or have done. It will be great to take questions from the younger set of people here who are ready to jump into the world and into their working lives. Thanks. Thank you, Sudipto, and I will hand it over to Moinak for further deliberation.
Thank you, Virendra. Thank you, Ramada. It was such a great presentation, and really, it's so much to learn from you guys. Sudipta is again asking me to start the video, but I am facing some problem. So bear with me. So I guess most of the things have been already covered by Ramada and Indra, but I will try to focus on what academia needs to do to bridge the gap between industry and academia. The first point I will say is the curriculum. We all know that industry is changing first, but is the curriculum changing? So the academia needs to revisit the curriculum and see that whether the curriculum is as per industry needs. So let me give you an example. For example, there are certain technologies that are being currently used by the industries. For example, IoT, blockchain, AirVR. But the academia has to look at how those technologies can be incorporated into the curriculum. Secondly, I think traditionally we have seen that academia follows a classroom methodology and a theory heavy approach, but ideally that should change. That should be more of a case study kind of approach, where the instructor, while delivering the curriculum, should be giving the real life example, real life scenarios, so that student knows that okay, I am learning this, so this will be used to solve this kind of problem. Another thing that I want to highlight is there are certain market relevant courses that are already present in the market, or the industry relevant courses that are present in the market. I guess the academia or the colleges should encourage students to do those courses. Maybe the colleges can have a strategic partnership with the industry and deliver those courses. And trust me, those courses help when a student will enter a industry. If they have this kind of experience of these courses, that will definitely help them. One more thing I want to point out is the industry exposure for a student. So industry exposure can come from different things, like from internship, maybe through projects, maybe through corporate interaction, uh, and this helps. So this does not guarantee a student to get a job, but it helps a student to acclimatize early when he gets a job. For example, if I take my example, I started PwC as a fresher. So when I joined PwC, I didn't had an idea like how corporate building look like, how cubicles look like, how you need to behave. Even I didn't know how to open a door using the access card. But if you had those previous experience of the industry, that will definitely help the student to get acclimatized quickly. So academia should encourage this kind of internship. They can partner with different industry to start this type of internship or a corporate interaction kind of thing or projects. Uh, Also, there is another thing that Induilda has already talked about is this skill. not only the technology skill, but there are other skills that we need. Ramada has touched this, Inilda has touched this. Like uh, industry looks for certain other skills, like the interpersonal skills or the communication skills. So these are very important factor when you enter an industry. So again, academia plays a very important role. Colleges should help the students or will should try to improve this skill development part of the student. Uh, these were all the points that I thought that academia can do as a part to bridge the gap between industry and academia. And I agree with Induinda. We think we should speak less and take more questions that will make the session interactive. So Sudipto, if you can start the question answer session.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, all the speakers. Doipan, may I ask Doipan sir to start or initiate that particular session, question answer session? I think you have already
Sir,
taken some question from the audience. So you please start the session. So over to you, Doipan.
thank you, sir. Very good evening to one and all present here, and very good evening to our guests and the esteemed speakers for today's evening. Thank you, sir, for the excellent presentation. We are moving on to our question answer session. Uh, there are a number of questions that have come from the audience, and the very first question that is there for that.
Doipan, your voice is not coming properly.
Hello,
Yes, your voice is not coming properly.
now?
Yes, now okay.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
I would suggest one more thing to you. You please ask the question, and in parallelly, you just write the question in the chat window also.
Sure,
Okay.
sir, sure. Sir, the very first question is, if a startup is a particular discipline, will that be a threat to the survival of that startup? I am posting.
Can you type the chat? I believe, yeah,
Sudipto, I guess
I believe
his
there was
voice
a
broke.
problem in it.
I have posted the question in the chat box. If a startup is focusing into a particular discipline, will that be a threat to the survival of that startup?
Of that startup. I am repeating the question, sir. If a startup is focusing into a particular discipline,
Yeah, I got the question.
will that be a threat to the survival of the startup?
Ramada, you want to take that or?
Then if you say that, yeah,
Sure, go ahead.
can you hear? Yeah, see, the the threats are not a discipline, right? You can if you have an idea in a particular discipline, whether it is a uh, IT, electronics, or maybe in the computer
Excuse me,
science area,
Ramaprasad sir.
or
Ramaprasad sir, excuse me. You are not audible, sir. You are not properly audible.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Now okay.
Okay. Yeah. What I was saying is, see, the discipline is not the threat to the startup, right? You can form any startup at any discipline area. The key is the idea, what you are going to do, right? What problem, whether your startup is trying to solve what type of problems is how you are going to identify your customer where this startup will serve, maybe a product or maybe by through a service. Now, any particular discipline is a threat? No, it's not a threat. But do you have a sufficient plan B in place? If this idea doesn't work, maybe using this idea, can I do something else? If it is there or not, right? Whether are you, see, the main thing with the startup culture is a particular thing what you are doing, how quickly you can get customer base. With your MVP is ready, how you can get your initial customer base. Who is going to actually sponsor your project development, right? So once you get that, then now you get quickly the initial customer. In a particular discipline, no, it is not a threat. But what I am trying to mention during my presentation is that nowadays the innovations in startups are forming in a cross-discipline area because the things lies in those areas. But if you have a nice and good idea in a particular discipline, it's not a threat. Should not be a threat.
Next question, please.
Thank you, sir. I have posted in the chat window. The next question is, what type of support from industry can an institute expect in general? What type of support from industry can an institute expect in general?
Shall I
Yes, please.
like this?
Supplement. Yes, please go ahead.
Uh, yeah. First, let me say bluntly, no support. Right? That is why industry support the institute. Right? Now, if I say completely no support, that is a valid expect from the institute perspective. Not expect something the industry will offer you. But the industry also needs that skilled that is industry is getting from the institute. Now, if a industry, so you can classify different kind of industry, different kind of companies. A industrial company, if it has a sufficient number of employees, might be interested to invest or give some sponsorship in different areas to the institute. Microsoft, this type of companies where they sell different personal as well as corporate product and services, they offer a lot of free thing to the universities or colleges in their labs or in their different platform, different areas, different things they provide. There are two things they get back. One, they can create a labor force, and once they can create a labor force which is familiar to the tools and technologies, the corporate also will accept that yes, this kind of, if I accept this platform, if I accept these tools and technologies, it will be easier for us to get the skilled labor. Right? So that's why this industry or these companies will go and support the institutes. But there are many industry, many companies where uh, they don't do kind of B2B business, right? Just the example I have given is like a B2C, B2B business the IBM or Microsoft they do. So they see it's an opportunity for them if sponsor or they can give some kind of support academic institute, but for it may not be true for a other industry, other companies. So that's why I'm saying that institute cannot expect anything, cannot expect get some support, but it gets support with the need particular industry or the company. So that's my position is.
Next.
Thank you, sir. The next screen, the question is, if a student wants to be an entrepreneur and go for a startup area in which he or she can have a
That's an interesting question. Ramada, with your permission, I'm going to take this. The startup thing is a very interesting thing. The word comes from the typical Silicon Valley nomenclature, but nobody can actually tell anybody, it's a student or somebody who's just starting out in a business, what that could be. Idea can be researched from the facts, what is already present as problems. It could be completely life-changing, which is not present at all. I think Ramada and both Moinak touched upon some of those items. So you, the student here, the party is a student and he wants to be an entrepreneur. The idea has to come from within. The conviction of that idea has to be from within. And to disrupt the market, there are some SOPs, there are some rules of raising money. Those are standard corporate practices. But the idea has to be your inner calling, if I could say so. If you do not have that, then the idea is not an idea. It's just, which is already existing there. You're just extending something. You have to think ahead of time. You have to think which has not already happened. And when you think of a startup, you should think what difference is it going to make? What is the delta change is going to happen due to your startup? Look around you, find out what the problems are affecting people in general, normal people, in their daily lives, in their way of working, in their way of traveling. It could be anything, right? That is where the disruption would come through. Students here and all the esteemed people here, they know the biggest hotel owners don't own any hotel, which is Airbnb, right? The biggest travel operators don't own a single vehicle on their own name. That's Uber and Ola. I mean, those are the things. Somebody thought about that, why don't I like food getting delivered to me? Why don't I start an application which can help people to order from their comfort of their homes or wherever they are, some of their favorite restaurants and chefs? Things like Zomato started, things like Swiggy started. So you have to, from your own self, find out what is that you're passionate about, and if that idea can change the world, specifically at a larger scale, what difference that is it going to make to the society, to the people, and to yourself even. So nobody can guide you what the right idea is. The idea has to come from the prospective entrepreneur themselves.
Just to add to few of my words, as Inonilda mentioned it very correctly, the idea should come in from inside, and he has given two examples, right? So it's not only the startup should not only in the technology field, right? So the examples of Ola, Uber, or the Airbnb, it's a different thing, right? Airbnb in the hospitality, Airbnb, Ola, Uber in the logistic and travel. You might have heard the Zomato or something in the food and all those. Now, that's what I tried to show in that first slide in the presentation, the options are probably in the different industry, right? Now, when I mentioned that cross discipline, so that logistic plus technology, that solve the problem. If you would try to solve the logistic problem with 10,000 car, that will solve that logistic problem with not owning any vehicle with the help of technology. The problem they have solved in the logistic domain with the help of technology. So that is the cross domain. You have to understand. But whatever examples to today's date you can share or cite, one of the things will be technology which is enabling that problem solver, but actual problem you have to figure it out in which area you want to solve that problem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. The next question is in the chat box. That is, himself or herself to sit for campusing or focus on becoming an entrepreneur?
Who wants to take this? This is a very interesting question. Moina, do you want to take
Yeah,
or
yeah.
take this?
You can add, but I think it purely depends on the individual preference, which way he or she wants to go. If he wants to focus on a job, he wants to be wants some kind of comfort, he can go for a job. But if he has an idea, if he wants to do something of his own, he or she should go for an entrepreneur. But happy to know your thoughts on this in the no.
Oh, sure. I completely agree. I think it's a calling. It's how we are wired, right? So, do you want to embark on a journey which is unknown, or do you want to be on the secured part of your life where you want to take up a good, important paying job, work for a large company, but you're still an employee? What is that you want to do with your life? Is it the path of an employee or a generator? So I have done both of them. So I always go back to my first passion of doing something on my own, collaborating with people, bringing some little bit of change. Little. It is a small delta. So yours.
Yeah.
And in India, you have been part of academia, industry, startups. So you have done all.
Ah, I was lucky. Great people like you around me. Yeah.
Yeah, so there is nothing right and wrong what you should do. As Inananda said, how your word, how your mindset is there, how your inner calling is there. So you prepare yourself according to that. And if you are passionate, opportunity is there in all domain. Whether it is a job or whether it is an entrepreneur, if you are passionate for the same, opportunities of success is bound to come to you.
Thank you, sir. The next question is, it is true that a gap can be bridged by research projects, but there are many restrictions for students as well as teachers. How to remove these?
In I guess this is your subject, research project.
So it is not only research, it is about knowing new things and collaborating to remove these things. So it is just not one person, it's the collective environment, I think. It is the government bringing in the change through its policies and strategies. It is through education institutes to bring in the new curriculum or the evolving curriculum, which helps students, future employees, or future entrepreneurs to become more and more relevant. And uh, the whole work of industry, the government, the society, the education institutes, the students, all work towards removing them. Simple examples: government uh, in the last few years has removed very old laws and restrictions. The single window term has become very important these days. Why is the government embarking on journeys like that? So it's nothing political, it is just business sense. If I remove restrictions, if I remove bottlenecks from people's evolution in either this journey in an entrepreneur, it's more for the entrepreneur part. and also some restrictions from the employee part. The tax returns have become easier these days than earlier. So this cannot be done by a single individual or in a single organization. It's a collective effort. It's the shift which takes time, but if the will is there and the idea is there to move forward, then all of the people together can slowly move this. So digital India has happened, smart city has happened. A few years back, we wouldn't have thought about it. So not only the government has formulated policies and strategies, but the people, the industry, the employee as a large, the education institutes as a large, have also moved collectively towards removing the obstacles in the progression of the nation. This is a very larger, wider question. When we remove restrictions, evolution of both technology from the perspective of revenue, from the perspective of a personal wealth creation, also improves, right? Increases. But I want to leave it to leave my thoughts that it's just not one person; it is everybody together. So this is what is known as the collaborative nation, or these days as it is going by Atmanirbhar Bharat, right? So what is that? It's basically interdependence of oneself and carrying forward. So that is where all the restrictions will fall. That's my thought.
So, Indrinder, here I have a question. So, do you feel in research also there is a big chance of industry and academia collaboration? They should share same kind of vision, kind of thing.
Yes, there should be some very, very inclusive thought process. So if you see, best institutes in the country are coming forward and getting themselves entwined with some of the largest names in the business. So like Indian Institute of Sciences has joined hands with Wipro to develop autonomous systems, robotics. I think the whole ecosystem of the West is also now getting replicated in India itself. From a, basically, I'll say everything started from here, but they were faster in implementing those things. IIT Kharagpur has done the same thing with Wipro. IIT Guwahati has done with Samsung, where they are building the COE, which will teach cutting edge technologies, and they will absorb those people who have learned artificial intelligence, machine learning in context of the industry. So research, if in conjunction with academia happens, then you solve some problems. You also get the real good resources who understand both the academics part and also the industry needs, and then it's a win-win for us also. I think Ramada would know. Few years back, PwC went into a relationship with ISI in chairing or even sponsoring doctoral students, where they could work together, and maybe there was a later date have those people absorbed in the system. So it has to be there. If it is not there, then all the research that we do will be irrelevant. It may not be required by the industry at all. So until unless there is a very close connection or handshake between these two pillars of the society, then it's going to be a little difficult.
Back to you, Sudipta. On the back.
Right.
Thank you, sir. The next question is in the chat. Generating an idea and implementing an idea. Whom does industry prefer to?
Ramada, please take this. This is completely your forte. It's very new. I think there are a lot of budding entrepreneurs in this session. Very
Yeah, the new generation is full of budding entrepreneurs.
yes, yes.
Ramada, you there?
Can you hear Ramada, or is it mute?
Ramada, your voice is breaking.
Yeah, maybe internet is slowing down. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you. It's a little in pieces, basically.
So
Okay,
in the
let me try. Yeah, is it better?
Yeah.
yes.
Why don't you go ahead? Yes.
Yeah. So let me put this way. I, my experience, what I have seen, students have the idea and implement the idea. Moinak from PwC.
Sir, you are not
Mother, your
properly
voice.
audible, sir. Your voice is breaking, sir.
I think you lost Ramadan. So I just
So yeah, later. So let me start at this, and in the you can add on your comments. So it's no generating an idea is always better. It's not only from the industry perspective, but from the society perspective. If you think it's always better, is people always prefers who gives the idea rather than who is implementing the idea. So industry also similarly prefers the guys who is giving a idea, and uh, I guess it was very rightly mentioned by Inda also, like somebody who can give a disruptive idea is always helps. Inda, your thoughts?
oh yes, I fully agree on that. Industry or
And Inonilda work in PwC
okay, so
So,
he's
for
back.
long. And in PwC, what we do is we call the managers on a meeting, right? Or
Sir, your voice is not clear.
so Inda, if you can.
Oh yeah. So just lost my thought. Yeah. So the idea is always preferred. Implementation, a lot of people can do. So if you have the right idea, if you have the courage to back it, you will always find backers for yourself. It might be a little struggle. It might be a little tougher, but industry will always, even when you're an employee, it's just not for entrepreneurs. You have a better idea or a out of box thinking, you'll always be preferred well over the rest of the people, because your faster problem solving abilities, your better way of interaction will also help the employer to optimize the work environment. So in both the cases, an idea of working differently, which is obviously has a positive impact in whatever you're doing, will always be preferred more than just the worker bees.
yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, now you're back. Yeah, correct.
Great.
But
Yeah,
we
I was hearing Moinax and Inla's view. Yeah, definitely the idea generator is always walks away with the all the appreciation. But as Inulda said that freebie is not may walk away initially with but who sticks to the idea. So idea generating and sticking to it is more important. It's not that I just generate the idea and go away. That is uh, that then probably you don't know that how, if your idea has failed or not. There are people who generates the, if you look at all the startup cultures or all the startups are happening, they have the idea and they do the implementation. It's not that they are borrowing an idea from somewhere else and they are somebody else is implementing. So in the startup culture, yes, the idea and the idea implementer both are equally important, and it is, you have to implement it. Now, when it comes to a very large scale problem, let's say any industry, and that again the word I am using, that cross discipline problems happens. Um, there, uh, as as a industry, as a particular institute, maybe a company, maybe organization has many implementer, right? And they are stuck when there is a no resolution. And then the idea champions matters, right? So that's why you'll probably heard the design thinking concept. At that time, probably one idea may not be enough to solve that. So a group collaborative idea may be something which is required to solve that problem. So then that design thinking approach comes into. So uh, it depends on the what or what thing you are dealing with. Then based on that, the idea or idea implementation takes the precedence.
Thank you, sir.
Sudipta, yes, Sudipta, is there any more questions are there, Daipan?
Yes, sir. We'll just take a few more questions. Uh,
I think, sir,
last,
we
Okay.
will take one or two more maximum.
yes, sir.
Because I want to discuss few things with the industry people because I was listening all along means from the
Okay.
starting to the.
So
So
that's great, sir. Please allow us another 2-3 minutes.
yeah, sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So we move on to the next question. What shall be the first step to take while industry institute interaction cell?
I think this question should be taken by the esteemed professors. We should not. Ramada, do you want to add some point because you are very passionate about this thing?
What shall be the first step to take while establishing industry institution interaction cell? Um, okay. Uh, as now, what industry institute interaction cell? If you are thinking that, so do that first step is who could be the consumer of the student, the candidate, who are this industry or who are this, do a research first. Really, who will be benefited from the esteemed student panel or the intellect pool a institute has? Who are this industry or who are these going to be benefited from? Right? It is not easy to do this study, um, because if you today approach any big job provider, they will say we have so many things, so many from where we are recruiting, so we don't see a opening. So you try to look at what else that other type of companies, other type of industry where your intellect pool can do help, and try to orient some kind of curriculum according to that need, some piece, some offering, some training in that area. Let's say if you feel that yes, logistics or the food probably two growing trends, I yes, along with the ITES. So what kind of training or what kind of thing we can offer in that two domain or in the two industry, so that my students are familiar about the problems of those two things, to those areas. So some kind of study first you should do, that who is the actually target could be, and this study can be done maybe 3 years interval or so, so that because the changing nature of the industry or domain, your target group may change. So don't just take the one way approach. Okay, these 5 institutes are doing that, so we'll do the same. It's not, may not be the same. Do some research and then try to approach to those industry and showcase that this is our talent pool, and not only the talent pool, this type of curriculum which are very much aligned to your industry is being offered in our institute. So then they'll be much more interested to listen and establish a channel with you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And with that, we will be moving on to the last question, last but not the least question of this session. Well, the question is, what are the market relevant courses that will make a student fit for the industry, and how can we get an idea of the industry prior entering the industry?
Why not kindly take this, Ramada?
Yeah, so I think there are several market relevant courses that I initially covered in my talks also. Like you can, if you can think of the emerging technology courses, maybe uh, IoT, blockchain, AI, ML, or there will be other industry specific courses that are provided by that are provided by various industry also. So there are certain online courses also. So students should go ahead and take those courses. I also said that it's a good idea if college can have a partnership with a particular industry and deliver this kind of courses. Exposure to industry, yes, it's very important, and exposure can be done through internship, corporate interaction, or maybe doing some kind of projects with the industry also. That should also help. Ramada, you want to add something on this?
No, you said rightly that yeah, industry projects, the internship, so that you know how industry works, and relevant course again for a particular student also should take the ownership of the career and think that which industry is my passion is, where I want to fit myself in the long run. So try to learn those courses, right? uh, Maybe your first job may not be the dream job what you are working for, but still whatever time you get, you try to, let's say you have a passion about the logistic industry, right? Logistics industry. Now even if you have got a IT job, uh, try to do some kind of study, continue study on the logistics domain. What problems are there, and see, try to explore also what are these companies or different people are working in the logistics domain. Try to establish a channel communication with them, and with the time a opportunity might come up for to you to your right passion. So it's also on the hand of the student taking ownership, that it's not only a institute can offer everything, right? So with the a student also should be agile enough to look at that what I am to do and align self according to that need.
And right now, it's a very good time because there are several online courses. So whatever your passion is, whichever area you want to move, you can choose that course and you can do it online also. So
And rightly always you try to do some kind of communication course, because whatever you try to do, see 20 years back when we have graduated from the industry,
mm,
we felt that we are privileged because we have the engineering degree or MTech degree from IIT, so we are privileged, and it was like a red carpet. Even prior to that, probably it was a red carpet for us, for some of the industry to join. But here, as I said, that the gap of the white collar job and and the the enrollment or the passed out students from the, so a lot of cutthroat competition everywhere. You have to do a right kind of communication with right stakeholder, and some kind of communication skill, and the command on the English you should have, so that you can clearly communicate what you want to say. What, and you might have a good thought in yourself, you might have a good idea, but ultimately if you cannot communicate to the right stakeholder, it will be very difficult to see you as a leader or you are the innovator. So you need to have a right kind of communication skill, so that you can communicate your ideas or to with all the peoples.
Thank you so much, everyone. And with that, I'll request our principal, Dr. Partho Sarkar, to share his views. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Daipan. Uh, Honestly speaking, we will discuss one or two points because I'm in this academic field for the last 30 years. Even just before coming to this organization 1 year back, I was working with Biju Patnaik University of Technology as Director Curriculum Development there. So here presently I'm working as principal. There are few things which every time hits us as an academician. We every time face two things. One is industry says that curriculum is not updated, and that is why the students are unemployable. This is the every time we listen from the industry. But when in educational institute or university tried to catch the people from the industry for different kind of thing, that is uh, one is participation in board of studies. Second one is that is the industry need course curricula. Third one is requesting people from industry as visiting uh, uh, professor or visiting teacher. Honestly speaking, as educational institute, we never get all those supports. Sir, I may be harsh in my words or I may be wrong in my thought process, but these are the things which we have seen or I have seen for last 30 years. Last 5 years or 6 years, there are industries where people have come up as saying that yes, we may come to your institute as a we can deliver some talk or something like that. It even it sometimes happens if you say that informally we can come, formally if you have to take the permission from the industry, then it may take some more time or something like that. Also, this also we have listened. Sir, my question is that as Pricewaterhouse from people from Pricewaterhouse are here, can you help us? Let's say I am now talking from JIS College of Engineering. Can you help us your input to our board of studies, like in computer science department or information technology department? Can you help us to be a member in our board of studies so that uh, our curriculum can be enriched by your valuable inputs? Question number one. Question number two, is it that if the institute will tie up with some industry, like let's say Pricewaterhouse itself, that some portion of the syllabus will be designing for your industry itself or your requirement itself. Can it be possible that the students who will be taking those courses, they can get engaged? Third, can it be possible that if people like experience with so many years like you people can do some visiting classes or some visiting lectures for our students? Sir, please answer me on these 3 points, sir.
Okay, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so let me first answer that whether we are contributing, the industry is contributing to know. So we cannot talk for the other industry, but for as a PwC, we do, I think in 1 day notice when Sudipto approached to Moinak, in 1 day notice we have given, okay, we'll do a session, we'll participate, we'll give time to GIS, right? In
Right,
1
sir.
day notice we have
Thank you for
3 of
that.
us given the time.
Yes,
It's
sir.
not
Thank
the
you.
only thing. I remember that few months back I went to personally JIS University in one of the student competition as a judge. I spent a half a day over there.
Right.
So it's not that we don't do so, but I cannot comment for the other industry, other organization or others who whatever I can control, Moinak, me, or Inunilla, or our team. Inunilla, I know personally, is associated many institutes and arranging. Uh, so we do get the time now. today what I don't want to give the answer to other two questions, because it's not that I don't have the answer. I can do it one-to-one personally discussion with you, because when I have taken a permission from my employer that today we are going to talk, it is clearly mentioned that we should not open up or talk about any kind of professional services or any kind of services we offer for the universities, right? Or any kind of professional discussion we should not be doing. It is a completely volunteering or we are doing today.
Right.
So let us restrict today. Maybe in a, if you, when you are back, I hear that today is the last day and you are going on vacation. We can back. Uh, we can back and we can have a discussion, and that what kind of
Sure,
help we can
sure,
do
sir.
on that. But
Sure,
just
sir. Sure,
to
sir. No
give a
problem.
heads up that we have a education service. We do professional services to the universities, design the curriculum, courses, uh, run mentorship programs. A lot of things we do, but those kind of detailed discussion can be done in other discussion.
Sure.
So just to supplement, 30 seconds I'll take. It's too late, I think. Principal sir, I think PwC, I don't have that restriction right now, but when I was in PwC, I had that restriction what Ramada had. I can tell that PwC is one of the most forward-thinking services firm in the world. Even in India, it is, I think, the only one of the only few services companies which has engaged very deeply with either setting up universities or designing curriculums, because I'm involved with them, one of the largest organizations here, to develop some of the latest emerging tech, as we call them, because people are very focused. As much as we say about 360-degree development and arts and stuff, people are generally focused towards the technology part of it, because 80% of the people think that it will give them a better career option. So we work in creating some of that from our experience, from what the work that we have done. And I think when you have that offline discussion with Ramada, there are a lot of things that an organization like PwC can bring to table. And individually, we can all, we are here to help. If you want us to be visiting your college, giving some talks, we'll be more than glad to do that.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful session, and almost you have covered maximum questions. Lots of good questions have coming from the audience end. So we have taken almost maximum, not maximum question. Lots of questions are still pending, but we are running out of time at this moment. On behalf of JIS College of Engineering and as well as CSI Kolkata Chapter, I want to provide some small token of appreciation to you all. So, on behalf of JIS College of Engineering and CSI Kolkata Chapter, I would like to share the screen. I am requesting all the member from CSI as well as from JIS College of Engineering to hand over the small token of appreciation to our honorable speakers. So I'm going to share the screen. Is it visible?
Yes, yes,
So
visible.
this is for Rama Prasad sir. Principal sir, would you please do the honor by providing this
Yes,
small token of appreciation to Rama Prasad sir?
sir. Please accept from our side as a very token of love from our side.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, CIS. And as I said, we are really privileged to be part of your initiative.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much, sir. Uh,
Sudipto, you will be mailing this to us?
yes, sir, sure, definitely I will
Yo.
mail it. Next, this is for Moinak sir. So I am requesting JKM sir and Aniruddha sir kindly do the honor. Aniruddha sir and JKM sir, are you here? From
Yeah,
CSI?
I'm here.
Yes, sir.
I am
Please,
here.
please do the honor by giving the small token of appreciation to Mr. Moinak Sen.
On behalf of JIS College of Engineering and Computer Society of India Kolkata Chapter, so please accept our gratitude and token of love. Please
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
do the honor by accepting this. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I am requesting Dr. Dharampal Singh, Head Department of Computer Science and Engineering, to provide this small token of appreciation to Dr. Indranil Mitra. HOD sir, Dharampal sir, are you there?
Yeah, yes, Sudipto.
Sir, please do the honor.
Yeah, sir, kindly accept this token of appreciation from our side and do the honor to us, sir. Please, sir, accept it.
Thank you so much. It's such a great privilege and such an innovative way of giving this. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Very happy to be part of this.
Thank you.
Sudipto, please send all these things immediately to the mail.
Sure, sure, sure. I'll do it, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. So I am watching that Sopasaji sir is there, our Dean R&D. SS sir. So I am requesting our Dean R&D, that is Research and Development, to say few words. SS sir, please, over to you.
Thank you, Sudipto. It's my I'm actually privileged to be present in this particular event. I think I'm audible properly.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
My speech. First of all, I'd like to thank Principal Sir. Okay, for reminding. Actually, I was in a different session. Sir called me to tell me that Shobhur, there is a wonderful session going on by PwC people. So, sir, thank you, sir. Okay. Otherwise, I could have missed some wonderful session. I got very nice inputs. Okay. The inputs of Ramaprasad sir, inputs from Indranil sir, and also Moinak sir. And I also thank our entire computer science and engineering team and CSI Student Chapter of JIS College of Engineering for organizing these events so frequently. Okay. You have been doing wonderfully, and our students are also, thanks to them also, they have been participating very vibrantly. And now today I can say CSI Student Chapter of JIS College of Engineering is one of the very vibrant student chapters. Okay, you have been doing so many things, and thanks to I do not find the right word to thank JK Mondal sir. Okay, he's always with us, sir. Sir, thank you again.
Thank you. I'm always with you. Thank you very much. It's
Thank you
honor
again.
for me.
And so it's a very nice occasion, and I myself is also enriched. Okay, because there are so many now often so often we discuss. Okay, the if you consider the now admission time is going on, everybody's where software related streams are getting more preferable, and at the same time India has got its new national education policy where the barriers of the streams are being broken. And in today's talks has been the probably the perfect background of actually clubbing all those things. Okay, I was hearing that is how you apply your software knowledges for some this description of some physical system, physico-chemical system, or actual industrial problem with the advent of Industry 4 and so on. Okay, so all those things has been has been illustrated. Some of us who are busy with the academic profession, we are aware, but the person concerned, that the students for whom we are actually doing it, sir, you made it so easy for them to learn also. I could see some of my favorite students also on the screen. So hopefully they are also enriched. Okay, so so all the best to the CSI Student Chapter and the entire team of Computer Science of Engineering. Hope in near future also you'll be organizing this type of event. So thank you. Over to you, Sudipta.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Meanwhile, I am requesting all the participants here, kindly turn on your webcam so that we can take a good snap. And all the dignitaries from CSI as well as our resource person, principal sir, everyone, I am requesting you kindly turn on your webcam so that we can take a good snap. Okay, thank you everyone. I am requesting our HOD Dr. Dharampal Singh to convey the vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Thank you, Sudipto. So first upon, good evening to the everyone. So on behalf of the CSE department, JIS College of Engineering, I would like to thank the CSI Kolkata chapter because with the association with CSI Kolkata chapter, we are organizing many program at national level and we are doing the thing in successful manner there. So I will also like to thanks to our speaker here because without the speaker, we know that your workshop will be not successful. So I would like to thank the Ramaprasad Ghosh sir, Director Technology Consulting PwC for his wonderful speech. I would also like to thank the Mainak Sen sir, Associate Director Technology Consulting PwC for his wonderful words and suggestion to our participant. Also, I would like to thank to Dr. Indranil Mitra sir, academic advisor, board member of KG University. And also, sir, we will remember your promise that in the future, definitely we will contact you for the different activity.
Sure.
So, yeah, I would also like to thank the our chairman of the CSI Kolkata chapter, Dr. Aniruddha Nag. Whenever the Sudipto requested, sir always given permission and more than eager, you can say keen to organize the program with the JIS College of Engineering. So this is a wonderful thing and wonderful attitude and the belief sir has shown on the CSI Student Chapter of JIS College of Engineering. Also, I would like to thanks every time when I see the name of the JKM sir, it remind me the MTech days there when I attended the sir class in many program. So sir, thanks to you for your support in every program. In fact, in CSI, even in
Thank
different
you.
conference.
It's my
So
pleasure.
actually, sir, whenever you present in program, automatically program becomes successful. That is a one symbol of the we can see.
It's my
So
pleasure that my students are activating so much
yes,
for
thank you.
the
Whatever the
institute and
knowledge
the
you are
society.
given, whatever knowledge you are given to me, sir, we are just exploring it, sir. So thank you for sir your wonderful
Thanks.
suggestion.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Thank you.
will
Thank
also
you.
like to thank you, sir. I would also like to thank our principal, sir, Dr. Partho Sarkar. Says whenever we have approached to the sir, sir has motivate us and provide the guidance how we can organize the program. So thank you, sir. I would also like to thank our director, sir, Molaya Dave, sir, and our registrar, madam, Dr. Sila Singh Ghosh. Also, I would like to thank our Dean R&D, Sabosasi Sen, sir, because sir always present in the program, always motivate us, always give suggestion how we can improve. Also, I would like to thank our Dean in Innovative Learning and Dean of Student Affairs. And I will also like to thank our team CSE because we know that when we organize any program there, we require the circulation of email. So here we have done the things in very well manner and back to back, you can say more than 1,000 registration we have received, and also we can see more than 300, 400 person are joining in what's Facebook Live or you can YouTube like there. So this is a wonderful thing we have received, and also last but not least, I would like to thank the our participant because without the participant, anything is not possible there. So thanks to all the participants for your patience. We have listened almost we can say 2 hours there, and I hope that many students also from the CSC department and the many department present here, whatever the knowledge sir has given there, my request to definitely follow the knowledge, whatever the path has sir has suggested, try to follow it. So I can assure that definitely you can get the success in the your life. So also I would like to wish everyone Durga Puja, and I think that everyone enjoy it and Ma Durga will overcome the problem of the Corona pandemic. So over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. So I especially thank all the dignitaries from CSI, our very own Moinak sir, Indranil sir, and Ramaprasad sir, those who are present as a resource person of the entire webinar. Special thanks to principal sir. I have remember one particular point when I have approached to sir that sir I am going to start one webinar. So sir first intimate me why not why you are opening your mind only for college and only for the state. Go for national. That is the motivation. That motivation I have received from our honorable principal sir. So sir, thank you. From that particular day, I have cheered up so much, and I used to focus the entire program to take this program into a national level. So thank you very much. I'm very much thankful to JKM sir also, because when I approach JKM sir has supported me in each and every program. So thank you very much, Aniruddha sir. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you every participant. Thank you team CSC and all my dear students, CSI core committee, CSI course CSI team, JIS Student Chapter. Thank you everyone for joining. So I wish you all a very happy Durga Puja ahead and Navaratri ahead. So thank you everyone for joining us in this digital platform. Now, finally, I am concluding this session. Good night. Hope we will meet you soon in the new future. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.
Sudipta, please collect the phone numbers and all. We'll be talking to all the sirs after the Puja vacation for our other activities kind of thing.
Sure, sir. Sure,
Okay.
sir. Sir, I
I
am having.
request Ramprasad sir that after the vacation definitely we will be sitting for one fruitful discussion. And Dr. Mitra also can be part of it. We will have a discussion definitely after the Puja.
Sure, sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Take
Stay
care.
safe,
Thank
stay
you.
healthy. Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
You.
Take care.
Good night. Good night. Good night all.
Thank you, Ramada. Thank you, my dad. Thank you, Sudipto.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Take care.